Is Dragon Age 2 woke now? What's up? It's your girl, ElfShyel. Welcome back to another video. Today, I felt like I should come on here and talk about some of the Dragon Age stuff that's going on. If you guys don't know, I'm a massive fan of the franchise. I've talked about it a lot here on this channel. It's like one of my favorite subjects to gap about. I obviously get a lot of Dragon Age content in my feed, just in general, on all platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I get Dragon Age content basically everywhere I go. I love that for me. Like, I absolutely love that. But sometimes I get onto, like, the wrong side of Dragon Age, you know what I mean? And if you guys don't know, the character creation stuff was being teased a little while ago. And personally, I thought it was, like, really freaking cool. As someone that... Okay, let's be so for real. This is an EA game. The EA made The Sims. The EA holds a very high standard for character creation. EA has some of the best character creation in any games. So, of course, Dragon Age is going to have to top that and give us what we want. Because, obviously, I'm gonna be so for real. You don't want to have to mod everything for a game. So, I'm gonna throw it out there. What do you pronounce it? Cellulite? Yes. I'm a woman. I should know how to pronounce that. The cellulite, the top scar, all of that stuff, I really think is really cool, in my opinion. You can sit here and be like, oh my god, we waited 10 years for them to put fucking cellulite in the game, and it's like, I would expect for a game that's been in development for 10 years to have all these extra things. It's been in development for 10 years, so hell yeah, I expect it to have extra things. Obviously, I want the main gameplay to be good. I would rather add mods to my game later and have really good gameplay. But the fact that I genuinely hope in my dream world that we're gonna get this really good gameplay along with this really good character creation, and it's gonna mix for this perfect thing. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter being like, oh, here comes the next failure. Like, I don't get why we're being so pessimistic about it. I know games have failed before in the past, and like, Dragon Age is a more woke game to some people, but like, they're not that woke. Let's be so for real. They don't push agendas onto people. I have never had an agenda pushed onto me from Dragon Age. Out of all the Dragon Age games I've played, and all the Mass Effect games I've played, I've never had any agenda pushed onto me. Or like, felt like I was. You know what I mean? So, and they're not telling you. They're not being like, oh hey, your character has to have cellulite. Your character has to have these top surgery scars. They're not telling you have to. They're putting it in the game so that everyone feels included and everyone can feel represented in a game that we have all been waiting on for so long. This game means a lot to a lot of people. And I feel like the people that are going and criticizing it are people that really haven't played the game and doesn't mean as much. The game doesn't mean as much to them as what it does to us, like actual Dragon Age fans. I feel like if you are so worried and you're sitting here like, oh my god, Dragon Age is too woke, like, who cares? I'm gonna be so for real, I do not care what a company's political views are. I really don't care. As long as they come out with a banger game, that's all that matters. And they're not really pushing any agendas. Adding stuff to the game that's just extra stuff because they have been working on the game for 10 years, so I would pray to God they have extra stuff. Because could you imagine, we waited 10 years to get a game that, at the end of it, you can't just replay over and over again and you have to go mod it. No one wants a game like that. No one wants to spend $60 on a game that you have to mod intensively to enjoy. You know what I mean? So like, all these little things that they're adding, yeah, I can see how people can see they're unnecessary or be like, oh, you're trying to push an agenda, but like, it's just adding stuff so people can have quality of life in a game. which I think is totally fine, in my opinion. And I think it's really cool. Like, the cellulite thing, I probably personally wouldn't use it because it would make me feel insecure about mine. You know what I mean? I'm not in that headspace to use something like that and feel comfortable using it, but I love the options there, because if I do ever want to start working on that uncomfortableness I have with myself, putting it on a character that is going to mean as much to me as Veilguard is going to mean to me. If you're a new watcher and you don't know this, Dragon Age has had a massive impact on my life, just Dragon Age alone. I obviously love Mass Effect and all the other BioWare games except Anthem. But I have a Dragon Age tattoo. This game has ultimately shaped my life. It is one of the first ever games I played growing up. It's what got me into RPGs, which is my favorite type of game. I have read all the books, like, I've seen the series. I love this game, and this game truly means a lot to me. And I told people when I got my Dragon Age Inquisition tattoo that the reason I got it was because I wanted to have something on my body that represented how strong I felt when I played that game. I felt super incredibly powerful and like big-headed when I played Inquisition. It was just a great feeling, you know what I mean? I felt like I was on top of the world. I felt like I was this badass fucking like, it was just an amazing feeling, and I can't even fathom my words right now, because like, I just don't know what to say. Like, there's so much negativity around Dragon Age now. A lot of people are expecting it to fail, and I'm still holding out hope. I know there's been a lot of things that, like, I've been like, oh, you know, and I posted on TikTok earlier about, like, Dorian, you know? I'm a big Dorian stan. I want him to come back. However, if he doesn't come back, I'll still play Veilguard. I will still enjoy Veilguard. I love Dorian, and Dorian is my favorite character from Inquisition, but I love Inquisition the game. I don't love Inquisition because of Dorian. I love Inquisition because it's Inquisition, you know? I love the story, the plot, everything about Inquisition is I love. So we did see like the Inquisitor side of like, so you can make an Inquisitor, right? One, where the fuck, how do we have both of our arms all of a sudden? Just wanted to point that out there real quick. I know that's like really unnecessary, but that's just kind of a big lore factor that we're kind of skipping out on. Like, did we just regrow an arm? Where did that come from? Do you agree with what people were saying about like who is divine, who drank from the well, who's the ruler of Orleus? Did Hawk sacrifice himself? Like, all these questions we have about the Inquisitor, and like, and the things they ask is like, who did you romance? What happened with the Inquisition? And like, that's great. We need to know that, obviously. However, there definitely should have been more, and I agree with that, because the who is divine is like, I feel like a massive part, because there was, what, 3 different people that could have been divine? So the fact that we don't have a definite, like, we don't have a choice of who was divine, I feel like completely defeats the whole purpose of, like, you spend majority of the game deciding who's going to be divine, and like working on those relationships so you can make someone the divine. Who drank from the well is also a crazy thing. The Hawk thing, I don't think Hawk will come back. I think they're just gonna skip over that, if I'm being so for real, but it would be nice to know if like maybe Hawk could come back. That would be crazy. Could you imagine Hawk, the Inquisitor, and Rook all in a game together? That would be crazy. Oh, and here's a meme. Speaking of which, the question of the day, or just a question for the comments for whenever the fuck you're watching this, who do you think you're gonna romance? I'm really curious. Like, I'm gonna be so for real. I'm a big romance girl. I live for that in the Dragon Age and Mass Effect series. The only other Dragon Age game that I've been genuinely confused on who I'm gonna romance is Origins. In Dragon Age 2, I knew the exact people I wanted to romance. In Inquisition, I knew the exact people I wanted to romance. I am back in that feeling now of I don't really know who I want to romance, because the guy that I'm kind of like, ooh, you're kind of cute. You know what I mean? He's a mage killer, and as someone that romanced both Anders and Dorian and is an avid Anders and Dorian fan, it just kind of feels not great to romance someone called the Mage Killer. It just feels a little backstabby. So unless I had this crazy conspiracy, unless I can choose to be a mage and romance him and change him, then maybe I'll romance him. But I'm gonna be so for real, I think I'm going with Harding. I think I'm going with Girly. You know, Harding's been there through thick and thin, and I do love Harding as a character. I wish she had more of a role to play in Inquisition, not gonna lie. I'm so glad that she has the role that she does in Veilguard. And how they have been exploring her character is fantastic. I think Harding has a great storyline so far, and I'm really excited to explore it. I never romanced Harding or like flirted with Harding in Inquisition. She was never really my type in Inquisition, but in the new game she kind of got me acting up, not gonna lie. She kind of got me acting up. Think I'm gonna go for Harding. Never had a thing for dwarfs, but you know what? I'll give it to you, Harding. You be looking mighty fine.